victory. Let me see if I can find a loss. Okay, here's a loss.
Okay, perfect. So I think we're good to start, and well, first of all, guys, can you see the stream? Does it work? Does it play? It should be just my main screen, the game screen.
I clicked in. I can see, yes.
Okay, perfect. You guys can post your replays here in the chat. I see one replay already from Legit Pancake. Okay, and the way we're gonna do this, because there might be a lot of people who come in, and I will try to do as many reviews as possible. Those are gonna be really short snap body reviews. That's what I like to call those, 15 minutes maybe, or 20, just depending on what you guys need me to focus on. Let me know that in the notes, because there might be dozens of things we can talk about. So let's just structure it in the way that 1-2 ideas, I will share those with you, and if you guys gonna have any questions, then you can ask me those. For anyone who is new, the way I'm doing this is I use the wheel of names, and I put in the name here. We choose the random person, and if you're doing your VOD your first time, we can place your name twice. Legit Pancake, I believe you're the first one. You never done the VOD review before, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I have never done VOD review before. I don't think White Ninja has, and I'm not sure on who else.
Okay.
I've done one with Equine before. He reviewed this game for me as well, but I just wanted more input on it.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I guess, well, let's just put in the names twice. Ninja, who is Ninja in here? Do we have them? Is it...
WT Ninja.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's me.
okay, I got it. Okay, I just got confused with W. Okay, so let's maybe place your name twice too, and then we also have we have you 23. Yeah, so 23. Let's put in your name twice. Legit Pancake. I don't recall doing your replay review as well. We can place it one more time. And what about the Penny Paris? Is it your first time?
I was here last time. No,
Yeah,
I was here
okay.
last time.
Oh, you was there last time. Okay, so if you don't
Yes.
mind, we can give the
Yeah, it's fine.
priority to that. Yeah, it's okay. I just
Yeah,
will
go
try to do it this way. All right, I'm gonna spin, and yeah, let's just okay, see who we get here.
If you want to check out another one, a different one of my VODs, that's also fun, since I got this one already reviewed, but...
Yeah, I mean, whatever works, honestly, just whatever the VOD you would like me to go over, that's fine, Okay, so we got Ninja. I'm gonna remove your name, and we got the replay code. It's gonna be Plat to Diamond Scrim, Invisible Woman, and playing in Museum. Oh, there, yeah, this is gonna be the new map. Okay, perfect. I think let's just start with that then, and if you're gonna have any questions too, feel free to ask those. I think we will start with fundamentals, more likely. It's a tournament as well, so maybe it's good to also think about more sort of bigger picture, and that's what I'm gonna focus on really, and not too much micro stuff, but more macro stuff. And as Invis woman, even though it's you have a lot of utility, I believe, so you can influence the macro bigger state picture quite a lot, in my opinion. You can pull people in, you can pull people out, you can also provide pretty good sustain. Oh, that's nice. Little voice line here. All right, let's keep going. All right, so Ninja, for the notes, we won, but it was a really close game. Could have gone either way. I made some questionable push-pull decisions and positioning mistakes. Always want to look at my old usage as well. Makes sense. I believe, yeah, maybe let's focus on your pool a little bit more, because there are dozens of things you can be doing together with that ability. So let's see, pool, positioning, yeah, let's start there. Okay, so we're starting out right away behind the rest of your court, that's fine. Sort of providing the sustain for whoever is going to be the most aggressive, that's okay. Now, you just gotta search for the opportunities who you can pull, and ideally just gonna be the most active person on the enemy team. You can try to displace them, and dependent on situation, you either decide to pull them in or pull them out. If you guys can punish somebody, let's say they face a bunch of the cooldowns, especially if they don't have mobility, I think pushing them in your team is gonna be better, but sometimes if you play more of a poke variation, yeah, kind of longer range composition, I believe pulling out is also okay. As long as you kind of keep them in the open space where the rest of your core is able to do stuff, you should be fine. So yeah, shift is fine there. Okay, we keep pressuring, and then this is where we want to try to search for the opportunities to use something without pull. I believe that's a nice little angle here you have. I like this pool, and maybe something I want to say right away is try to position in a way which gives you option. So it's just options to do overall healing and also the pressure. I like this little angle, but maybe what if you start here early, or what if we open up the angle this way? So you have a vision on the enemy right away, and you can look for the pool in easier way. You're not necessarily just facing the damage what's right in front of you, because you can see here right at the start there's going to be Doctor Strange shield, and this may block your abilities partially, right? So if you get a nice angle, it's just going to be somewhat of a 45-degree angle, just depending on where your teammates are. You can maybe be here, yeah, let's just call this position A, or we can be position B. This one is slightly more concerning if you're gonna be really close right at the start. So start at A, later you can rotate to B, and just pulling somebody in probably can be okay. You guys have, you have Daredevil, you have Ammo Frost, those guys can potentially punish those guys. I just want you to have slightly high uptime if possible. Anyway, let's keep watching. Because you see right at the start, yeah, we maybe could have this opportunity to use the pool here, though. With this one, I think it's not a bad one, for sure. You kind of keep trap this guy in your space in here. Why not? There's just nobody else who we can pay attention to. Yeah, no squishy to drag in, no squishy to pull out, or whatsoever. So I would say it's gonna be a right thing. Okay, starting out just on the main now, and shooting into the wall. That's okay, but still keep an eye on those active guys, though. Yeah, this wall is not a threatening to you anymore. I know this still does damage, but keep an eye on these guys. This is really important. They also don't have any Hulk form here, so you need to support them a little bit more. Make sure they're safe. Your active teammates are safe first, and then later you can deal with this. Just have a nice angle somewhere over here, maybe, so you're not as concerned about the wall. Destroy it later, in my opinion, but it's fine. All right. So we keep shooting from here afterwards. So right, this one, yeah, the shift is also pretty interesting ability. I think you need to think about it the same way like you're thinking about the pool, sort of trapping the enemy in your space. So if you pull somebody towards your team where they can do damage, that's quite nice. Or you can also think about it this way: if I place my shift somewhere and it deals damage, you're not letting the enemy pass to their friendly space. You kind of keep the enemy busy in this space where most of your core is. So I'm thinking most of the time placing it on the corners where they will rotate to, more defensive. Yeah, their defensive route. You're gonna place it there. So in your case, maybe it can be over here. In some cases, maybe it can also be over there if they really fall back this way. But yeah, most of the time it seems that based on how they position, it's gonna be okay to position it here. Yeah, don't just kind of throw it in my opinion, just to right in the open. Yeah, because they also will be posturing more defensively. So it doesn't make sense to maybe place it there. Just position it on the corner, make their rotation harder. So they cannot just easily.
I try to aim for corners most of the time.
Yeah.
I don't. That was just a bad one.
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, I'm just thinking because this seam, we can maintain it. Just how can you trap the enemy in your space? So important.
Makes sense.
Okay, we have this here. That's fine. We on the cart. Now the rest of your team is pushing. You maybe can help them out. That's okay. Daredevil is pushing. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Just now, that's what I'm thinking. Probably trying to just find the opportunity. Let's see how long our pool stays. Yeah, maybe there's a better opportunity for us to use it somehow. Yeah, just because they also have not as mobile composition. In my opinion, it's okay if you keep displacing them and keep splitting them in a way. So it makes it easy either for this guy to dive something, if he has a lot of burst Daredevil. Maybe it's easier for Amorphos to do something. I know it may seem not as important to deal with those guys sometimes. Yeah, maybe you're waiting for the aggression to happen, but really, I'm thinking just pay attention to who is the most active right now. The question is, what do you guys think? You look at this picture here. Who do you think is more active on the enemy team currently? based on their position, based on what they may do as well. What are your thoughts, Mid
Who's that
Ninja?
up front? Is that Strange? Strange looks
yeah.
pretty active right now.
Okay, strange. Okay, this may be. What about DPS here? The Punisher and the Bucky over here. What are your thoughts?
They're
Bucky.
both looking for angles, so they're about to get active for sure.
Yeah, and you know the way I like to phrase it, you as Invis woman, first priorities, well, and for any support in general, you should try to punish the off angles first, in my opinion. Just anyone who takes this slight off angle, because this may be threatening because of the hook, or the Punisher can do continuous damage. I'm thinking, try the position to try to mess them up in a way, and this way just easier for you to control space afterwards. Yes, you maybe can displace the tanks too, but I'm thinking if there's no other choice. So, oh yeah, sorry.
I see what you're saying now. Whereas like the two tanks aren't active; they're more busy. They're occupied right now. Whereas
exactly.
the other two DPS are looking to get active immediately right now. Okay, that's nice.
Yes, exactly. You know, you may also displace the tanks, you may displace someone who is more killable, but I always say that you displacing people for the purposes of better resource trade, and you also may get bottom-up control afterwards. So yeah, technically, you need a nice angle to just maybe punish this guy or this guy. I'm thinking, it just really depends. You can maybe go here, try to displace him, maybe try to open up here, and try to displace this guy. I would say whatever works. Obviously, you can also watch the other layers, maybe who is closer to the ultimate, or who has this certain ability right now. Maybe they use something, like let's say this Bucky uses hook, then he is not as threatening anymore compared to this guy, maybe. So that's how I would think. Oh well, anyway. So we kind of just applying the pressure here, but just I want you to look for more frequent pulls on the angles, if possible. See who is on that off angle, slightly away from their core. You can try to displace them. This pull is okay. Yeah, we just have an advantage here. You can pull whatever in here. There's a high chance of getting the kill. Now push up and take space. That's fine. And by the way, a lot of the times it can be forgiving for you to take the off angles by yourself too. Why? Because you have a shield for yourself, right? You can always place it on your own position and protect you, right? You don't have as much mobility, you have the jump, but you have some amount of sustain, so that's quite nice, I feel like. So don't be afraid to do that. Yeah, treat your defensive ability as an opportunity for you to take angles. I always talk about that. It's just you thinking about the ways for you to position in a more threatening way. Okay, anyway, we're starting here, pushing the cart. May be okay. You know, my concern is, I know it's tournament, so probably might be good to call this out to your teammates. I usually would like anyone with a high mobility to be on cart, and anyone who also does not have ultimate. In this case, who you might have, maybe it can be, even in theory, it can be the Hulk because of their mobility, it can be Ultron because of their mobility, it can be maybe Jav, but they have ultimate, so we also would like them to push up forward. And you most definitely shouldn't be here because you have your ultimate. I want you to just be here just in case if we need to stabilize, and also more importantly, keep displacing the guys. You're more reliant on the setup before the fight. I don't think you can be in the cart as much. Just let someone be here, but you guys, not everybody should be sitting there, especially when the fight is about to start. You need to be somewhere else. I don't know where, maybe here, maybe, yeah, I would say so. Probably just one of the best options for us to start with. We have nice opening over here, and that's going to be slightly better. All right, so I know it's been pretty brief, just we're only 6 minutes into the VOD, but yeah, anyway, do you have any questions, Ninja? Or does everything make sense?
No, that makes sense.
Okay. So I would kind of briefly summarize it to, let's try to look for more frequent pulls so your more proactive position. And because you position proactively, you controlling the map better. And most importantly, you also have the shield, which allows you to do that. Yeah, you have your own sustain. So definitely try to experiment with that. A lot of the times you might end up getting killed because you take your own off angle, but it's fine because we experimenting, we checking, trying to limit test a little bit more. And especially during those times when the fight fight is about to start and when you have ultimate, I wouldn't be in cart. I would think about how do we take space. Just in any hero shooter, it's gonna be really, really important for us. Yeah, just more opportunities. I know that maybe the situation will still call that we'll ult on cart. We're fine with that, but you know, when the fight is about to start, first of all, you kind of giving the enemy team a dilemma. You're not being on the cart, you're being away from it, so they have to deal with you or the cart. And because you do that, because they have to waste a bunch of resources to deal with you or your teammates, you may just stabilize with your ultimate afterwards. So it's not necessarily will be happening on the main, but yeah, it's fine. Okay, that's how I would summarize it, and yeah, we can move to the next VOD. If you don't have any questions, again, I know it's pretty brief, but we can also take a look at your VOD later, maybe the
Very
next time.
informative for how brief, though.
Okay, perfect.
I learned a lot from their VOD.
Okay, thank you. Okay, do we have anyone else? We have Therapist Jesus. Okay, perfect. Okay. Let's, are you, wait, did I...
Sam's here now too.
Yeah. Sorry, what was that?
He just said that Sam said was me. I have to go in like 40 minutes, so if you're gonna do like spinny wheel and I don't get it, I might just have to go now.
Oh yeah,
I've only got, like,
yeah. I will do the spin. Yeah. Well, if you can stay,
yeah.
then
If I get lucky, then is what it is.
okay. Let's place your name then. Therapist, are you getting your VOD first time here or? Yeah. Well,
yeah, this is the first time, yeah.
Okay, let me just place, because I do it this way, so there's a high priority chance. Alright, let's see if the Sam gets lucky or anyone else. Oh, it's really close, actually. Okay, legit pancake. Alright, we got your name in here. Let me see, are there any questions? Can I just say absolutely despise the cart on the last point of this map? Okay, but what if I made the last point really big? Oh yeah, I got it. Yeah, exactly. The point, especially on the more open sides of the map, it just, I wouldn't position there, yeah? You need to provide more poke, you need to take space a little bit more, so yeah. Nobody likes points with cart. That's true, but you don't need C on cart. You only need C cart, so if you getting close to capturing the point. If you don't, then you need to think about the space. Yes, there's gonna be somebody who may push the cart, but in this game, the cart is also kind of just going, yeah, without you even. It's not like even an Overwatch where you have to have the person pushing the cart sometimes. Well, anyway, this has to be a Make-Wish Foundation grant or something. Okay. Well, let's start with a legit pancake. Okay, I'm gonna remove your name. Let's see the replay. Okay, what do we got? GM1, Venom, Mag, Emma. Okay, GM1 is pretty high rank. Now, the notes. I have been working on my dives on Venom for the Ghost role, and I really want that to be looked at. But also my Mag gameplay when I'm on attack. Okay, that's fine with me. Let's look at the Venom. You know, I'm thinking most importantly, when you're playing Venom, if you're playing in the Ghost of Brawl 2 in any tournament, I think you need to find a way to synchronize with the rest of your core. Yeah, just find a way to think who is going to be with you when you're looking for the dives, and you need to call out the dives and make sure that the people who may follow up on your dive, they will be with you. You check that with just by looking around and also ask them, are you ready? Are you ready to go in? That's something what we've done in scrims back in the days too. Just somebody plays Venom, somebody plays Hog. They have to call this out and just say, okay, 3-1 going in this target or something. It's just good start. It's really good start to do it this way. All right. Anyway, yeah, if you're gonna have any questions, legit, yeah, feel free to message here, or you can also unmute. That's fine. But yeah, let's focus on your dive. Yeah, the name is Doe. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is you, I believe. Yeah, let me see. Oh, yeah, okay. Now, let's start there. Okay, interesting setup here right away. Yeah, we're starting at... Yeah, so we're starting right on the top of the building here. The rest of your core is here. Who you may dive with? Well, you don't have, like, direct dive DPS with you, but you have Phoenix, maybe. That is something what you have to look at. What is their sightline? And also Thor. Thor may sort of dive in with you as well. They just can go in to either displace somebody with a hammer. Maybe they can try to use Awaken to secure the kill. Yeah, at least get better cooldown trade in a way, stuff like that. So I would mainly play around those two guys, and obviously mostly watch where the rest of your supports are too. So yes, okay. Sometimes this may happen that you don't have any dive DPS, that's fine. I just want you to think about it the same way like we discussed with the previous player Ninja. Think about your kill zone, where you're diving, so your team can capitalize on it. Well, anyway, it's good to be patient here. Getting damaged by the turret, by the way, just on auto attack. They don't even notice though. Oh, the name will notice you though. So you have to get out. Okay. That's fine, that's fine. Well, you know, this little angle here just maybe too easily, sometimes maybe easily scouted, but I'm not sure. Should we position here? Maybe can work, and then it can go above. There's just no... I'm thinking, yeah, no other too good of an area where you can look for the dives like this, right? So it's just the most important when you look for the setup like this, you don't want to get scouted. I usually, you know, the general idea is be away from the main and be away from the common routes. So let's say they come in here, there's a high chance they might scout you early. Obviously, there's a chance they don't, but I'm thinking that there's still pretty high chance. So we may position somewhere over here. Maybe we can try to even use this building. Not sure, but just, yeah, you can be patient like you did. That's great. That's a great start. Right, anyway, we had to get out, so we have to look for something else now. Yeah, we have to look for the different setup. Okay, looking to dive now. What are our thoughts? Is it good or bad? Well, I'm thinking decent, but your team is really far back. You have to... This is where I would really like you to communicate and check. I'm looking for the dive. Okay, I'm gonna dive this guy. Obviously, there's a big group of people maybe, but I can just specify and say, who are you diving right now exactly? Because they will be pulled up in the air. And what that means for your DPS is that they may damage those guys and they may kill those guys. So you're calling that out in a way that, okay, I'm diving Cloak and Dagger, or I'm diving Invisible Woman. And then this guy should be ready to do something. My concern is, this guy's not ready to do something, you know? The Phoenix is really far away, and the Thor is also, well, he's just not even far away. They don't have a great sightline, you know? So I would just look for this dive, but do it slightly later. Confirm with your team are they ready, and then look for it, because now you take a lot of damage, because this is just not the space you guys been ready to control yet. And still, we do kind of decent job eventually. Yeah, your team they start to follow up on what you do, but... Yeah, it's just a little bit...
I died like 2 seconds before I did it, but they just came up late.
It just what? Sorry, you see, your microphone is a little bit low for me. Let me just turn you up a little. Yeah, can you repeat that again?
I calmed the dive like earlier, but they just weren't like coming up with it, so I just decided to do it on my own.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to maybe, it's not even early, just that it's a little bit late right now for these positions we are. Yeah, you either call this out. Okay, guys, let's push you aggressively. I will go in on this, guys. Are you ready? They confirm yes, it's a tournament, yeah, so it's really important too. So somebody has to confirm. Maybe you can at least pick one person who you will be synchronizing with, like Phoenix. Okay, are you ready? Yes? Okay, perfect, I'm diving. If not, you shouldn't dive. Yeah, I don't care how, it's either you diving in early or later, but you cannot dive when the rest of most important the resources are not there. Yeah, let's put it this way. Yeah, obviously, we don't want to give up too much space. I understand that too, but at the same time, it's just really important. Yeah, really important that they have sightline too. Yeah, still, it's decent. It's a good dive, but, you know, it just... we like more follow-up, ideally. It's a tournament, it's a team stuff too, so you guys have to somehow communicate this. Be ready.
This wasn't like a team one. This was just a rank thing I was practicing Venom on.
Oh, it's a rank. Oh, sorry. Okay. Then if it's a rank...
Yeah,
if it's a rank, then only information. You don't have to communicate with your teammates too much, but you may just look and check whether they're doing it. Let's say they're not ready. I would just wait. You rather wait and be on the same page than dive in too early. That's how I would put it. Or dive too late. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So here, being patient. We're starting on the top. That's good. I see that you're setting up on the angles. Perfect. Yeah, let's see again. Looking for the dive here. Yep, just go into the back line. Let me see how we done that. Okay, so so searching for the supports. So this one looks better, but you know, the thing about it, why this is better, is because while you're destructing those guys, the rest of your core can do meaningful damage to those people, right? The previous stuff, it's not even that you cannot shoot same people, it's just the rest of your core being not as ready to shoot anybody actively. Yeah, ideally I want you to sync with somebody, right? But there are times when you can just go on your own and try to mess the supports up a little bit. If those guys walking in your areas actively, yeah, they're walking in your sort of kill zone actively. So this can work. You keeping the supports busy while those guys are getting blasted by everyone else. As long as you time it correctly, this may work too. Okay, we kind of stay in this position here. Have to get out. Okay, stabilizing, go on the angle again. Unfortunately, we're getting poked too much. So yeah, it will be a little bit complicated for us. Okay. Yeah, still not, in my opinion, not the easiest composition to play with. Like, again, as I said, because you don't have any dive DPS with you. Yeah, you may have Thor, but that's it. I just think you have to really rely on giving up a little bit of space before your Phoenix can do something, I don't know, the rest of the guys can do something too, but it's fine. Okay, looking for the dive here. Your team is active, that's okay. Yeah, we just have to participate in the fight here, it feels, so it's gonna be alright. Okay, trying to get out. Let's see if we live. Maybe we can. Maybe we're not. Okay, we do. That's okay. Your Phoenix getting picked. Well, now we can position. Okay, let's think about that. Okay, so this is not ideal, right? I know it feels like we have to contest the card, but you still have time, right? So I either want you to try to invest the time in the setup, just go anywhere else where you can be, because the rest of the core, they're just not ready to do anything yet. And you maybe can also start the main, but I would, yeah, there's still flexibility on this space. Yeah, maybe try to go all the way left side or something. And let's say they really try to chase you, but if you time it correctly, if you're using the time to set up while your team is walking, once they hear, if you're getting chased around here, they will be ready to help you out. So maybe you can try to experiment with that, or let's say if you really want to start for the main, then do it slightly later. It's too early right now, right? So there's a big chance to make this happen. Yeah, they use ability, they try to just displace you here with the Wolverine, and just nobody can capitalize on it in a way. Okay. Yeah, do you have any questions so far, or does everything make sense, legit? Oh, sorry, it seems I cannot hear you. Okay. Well, if you have any questions, just post those in the chat. I guess that's fine. Yeah, that's all right. Okay, so we're done. Okay, we're done the Venom. We on Emma. Let's skip at least one fight and check. Okay, where are we gonna be Venom again? Well, any random fight would work. Okay, so this is when we decided to swap right after this here. We're Venom again. That's fine. Let's take a look and check. I will die for now. Sorry, I got bad mic. Yeah, it's all good. No worries. All right. So setting up here, you know what I really like? You're setting up correctly. You're setting up on off angles. You're setting up on the flanks. That's perfect. I want you to think about the follow-up resources a little bit more and time engagements a little bit better. And in my opinion, that's gonna be okay-ish. Obviously, there's some micros during the engagement, right? How can you isolate the targets and such? But I think this is decent. Okay, so thinking about it now. Well, most important at this stage as well is, and we saw that before already, I don't want you to get poked. I know it's just a little bit of HP, but still, you want to be as patient as possible. This is uncommon route, so it's fine if you're being patient. I know that we need to scout. Well, the way you can do that is mostly with not visuals, but sounds, rather. You know, this is the same problem if any of you guys played something like Overwatch. There's a character, Winston, and with Winston, you also have to scout, but you cannot peek, and this is the same idea with the Venom too. If you peek, then you lose your HP. That's why you have to rely on the sounds more. Once you hear, rely on the sounds, and you don't peek at all. Once this guy's gonna walk in your space, you can dive in. But now you kind of have to peek your supports or something, or like get the HP back, so that may not be the best for us, right? Also, yeah, the maps we're building sometimes may be annoying. Okay, this is good. Isolated Doctor Strange. Sure, this guy is also a little bit isolated here. Okay, let's see, disengage. Once we walk in, to the choke. So this is the most important. You walk in here, I want either those guys to go aggressive. So where is that gonna be? This is this space here. Okay, treat it this way. This is corner 1 and corner 2. You need to dive in once those guys are in between the corners like this. They just somewhere around here is a general rule. They start walking in your space, you can go for the back line. Or you can go for the same space with your team if they're good targets to dive. Of course, try to prioritize supports, squishies, but I wouldn't dive in too early like this, yeah, because this is the space your team cannot do anything about. Yeah, even though those guys turn around, they cannot shoot this guy too actively. Yeah, so what can you do? Well, I'm thinking set up again, probably. Yeah, just take your time, set up again if you have this downtime, but don't feel obligated to go in right now. Yeah, just wait like couple seconds, go in, and then once those guys will be ready, then you get better resource trade this way. Stuff like that. That's what I think. Yeah, any questions, legit? You can type in, that's fine. But I think we can end here on this fight. I've watched like what, around 4 or 5 fights, so hopefully this is good. Okay, but anyway, to summarize, we need a slightly better timings around your big burst damage, big any sort of cooldowns you have. I know that sometimes it's concerning where my team is, and you're sort of feeling like, okay, I really have to dive to stop the card or something. Yes, you have to, but only at the moments when those guys can be active. So maybe communication, or most importantly, check with the visuals. If those guys are active, go in. It's either the enemy is walking in your space, so you can dive the backline, or you can dive the backline, which is in your space. Yeah, so just like I described here, yeah? It's either direct contribution to the kill zone, so we had the kill zone over here, which I talked about, yeah, direct contribution to this zone, or indirect. I'm diving the backline over here somewhere, but only once the enemy is actually walking in the kill zone. Yeah, they making their move there, all right? So take the side lanes more and use my ears. Yes, your side lanes are perfect. Well, not obviously no one's perfect, but you're doing good. You're doing good with the setup initially. Yeah, don't get worked out though. Rely on the sounds a little bit more too, in my opinion. Yes. Also, after I get getting coached on this game, I hit Celestial 3. Oh, nice. That's really good. That's really good. Nice. I'm really glad to hear that. Okay. Well, anyway, if you're gonna have any questions, feel free to message me or something, or yeah, just maybe you can also ask an academy later. That's okay. All right. Let's start with another VOD. Yeah. Do you guys, any of you, have questions about the previous VOD though, or is everything been clear? Okay. I hope everything's been clear then. Let's start another spin. Okay, who we gonna get? Daft Tank main, that was awesome. Okay, nice. Okay, we got Therapist. Okay, Sam, no luck for you, I'm sorry. Therapist, let me take a look. GM3, Phoenix. Perfect. Okay, let's start with that code. Yeah, okay, I think we can pause this. It's also a custom game, so it's a tournament game. Now, I've been getting comfortable with Phoenix in ranked, but having trouble with her in tournament settings, struggling to get very high value. Okay, sure. Why do you think this is the case? What's your opinion? Is there anything what you need to tweak right now? Anything what stands out? Sam, sorry I wasn't paying too much attention last VOD. I will ask questions on this one. Yeah, oh well, it's alright, it's alright. If you have some, obviously. Alright. Let's start with Phoenix. What's your in-game name? Let me take a look.
OX.
OX.
So I think my biggest issue is just when you're playing like at this level against really good teams, there's just like a very quick tempo of like how the game flow goes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so
and
just...
like there's
yeah. Continue. Yep.
There's like a very small like windows of opportunities of stuff you need to do then, or you need to like do by then, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense, really. I think, well, honestly, to just adapt to the tempo, to the pace of the game, first of all, it's playtime, but of course, just being able not to react to information, but rather anticipate, think what they will do ahead of time. So you will not have to react in the first place. Yeah, just like in chess, you're thinking 2 steps ahead, 3 steps ahead. I know this is a really faster paced game compared to chess, and there's so many more factors you have to keep an eye on, but still, I think, yeah, this is something what you can do. Try to predict, think, what's next? Okay, I assume you guys. This is the team you play with. Most of the time, or yeah, do you scrim with this team regularly, or is it
Yeah, it's my college team.
college team? Okay, perfect. So maybe you can talk about some macro team stuff. So I guess your guys' plan is try to fight for the choke. That's why you set up here, back here. We have the setup with our Wolverine. More likely is gonna take slide off angle here. We'll see. Your Doctor Strange holding front line. Magneto is holding this angle on the right side. The only concern is I would really like to have more high gun control here at the start. Okay, you guys start posturing aggressively here, but then really far back. That's what concerns me. I really think that you guys have to... I know that we still can get value pushing here, but then if you do, then I also want you to have this initial position, to have slightly better sideline, because now we really far away. But all of this should be communicated with your team. If you guys really want to fight this corner early, then sure, try to set up slightly better sideline for this, and then afterwards you can rotate to here if you're really committing to this choke, right? So this is just my thinking of the constant uptime, yeah, before the fight even starts. And you also can scout too partially, but then later, yes, you can rotate to here where you are. You have mobility, so it's fine, you have time. You kind of taken advantage of it in the poke phase, and poke phase is just the stage between before the fight even starts, before the enemy team gets close to you. So I think that's really nice if you're able to put up more spam, especially because you're farming those marks, right? You're really relying on consistent damage, so early damage. I know it's tournament, but yeah, based on how you guys are playing this corner too, it's just something what you can do right away. The angle itself is fine if you play for this here. I like a little bit of verticality, just standing there, yeah, be able to have a little bit more vision on the field. That's good. Okay, well, it seems like Angela pushed us out. That's fine. Okay, that's good you're paying attention to her, just disabling them a little bit. It's okay. Now, sitting here on the main, just doing the damage. Okay, that's fine. You guys decide to push back a little bit. That's okay. My question to you is, what do you think about your mobility? Would you say that during this entire fight, do you have a chance to use your mobility to just get slightly better angle, or is it going to be risky for you? What are your thoughts?
So with the whole mobility thing, like with my positioning, especially like after this was like around a week or two ago. Since then I've been like practicing more fluidity with my movement on Phoenix, like taking micro angles, taking height more, maybe doing small flanks just to, like have pressure from different angles and like, poke for picks and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so what do you think then, in specific here? Should you be using the mobility, or is it fine to kind of keep holding here?
I think I'm just playing main too much over here, like it's not, sustaining that much pressure. I'm just essentially alt charging too much here. I feel like if I had taken some better angles here, I could have put more pressure on their DPS, force their supports to pull cooldowns, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like there's gonna be more confidence if you know when the enemies have downtime. For example, they don't have anything threatening to you on the angle, like there's no Angela whatsoever, but you still want to put the pressure, right? Maybe during this time, I would like you to think about rotations. Of course, you also may think about it as getaway cooldown, right? But still, it's so important for you to consider your position. It's just how those characters work with the consistent damage, with the characters which build the pressure, like the stacks here. You put the stacks on the enemy, you explode them, right? So it's really important that you have this slightly better uptime, in my opinion, consider your position for the better angle. But important part of it is you also will need to have mobility if there's going to be any aggression from the enemy team too, right? But right now, I'm thinking you have time, probably. Yeah, maybe we can try to just go somewhere at the bad angle. Maybe start playing here, and you can drop. After that, if you really like to, we can try to use some of this positions here. Yeah, some of the high grounds, I believe. Yeah, just kind of similar to Hala angle. Yeah, a lot of the times you see Hala playing the buildings, and your angles can be similar, in my opinion. It's gonna be okay.
Charge complete.
You not. Oh, sorry, that's my charge. Just I have the charge on. All right. Anyway, you maybe not position as far as the Hela, I think, but still, in terms of how deep it can go and how you're using your verticality, it's quite similar. It's similar, in my opinion. So I'm thinking, yes, you can take advantage of the mobility here a little bit more. You see, we never used the mobility before the fight started or during the fight, right? But obviously, if there's a threat, then sure, you can maybe hold it a little bit longer, but just being somewhere else, so there's high uptime. Nice damage though, good uptime, just okay, keeping an eye on the Angel now. That's what I think now. You probably have the uptime sort of advantage now. So yes, you can reposition. Just do it sooner, as soon as possible, yeah? You start peeking, challenge this guy over here, you get them out, and then after that you can deny those people here. Just points of downtime.
So, when I'm going against dive, right, do I want to position myself so that I'm in the back, like, playing kind of bodyguard with the supports, or is it okay if I'm still playing like a little bit of a distance, but I can still turn around and, you know, help peel that dive?
Yeah, you need sightlines. You need sightlines. The thing about the dive, you cannot be isolated on the angle, so you still can take angles. There's a big kind of misconception. People say you have to play with your support like near them. No, in reality you can take angles. Why? Because you have to deny the dive before they get to you. You have to shoot them before they get to you. So if I have slightly better position, for example up here, I'm able to see the divers coming before the fight starts, right? So you can build your damage, and after that, if they decide to dive, yes, you can create a little bit more distance, but still keep those soft angles going. Yeah, you will have an angle, but it just shouldn't be too deep. You shouldn't be isolated. If you're isolated, sure, they punish you instantly and nobody can support you. As long as your support's high in line of sight, that's fine. Versus the Angela, well, once she's out too, that's gonna be okay. Yeah, you can position more aggressively like you do, but once she is in the fight later, you just keep spamming them a little bit, maybe, if they're gonna be aggressive, and yes, it's gonna be slight more distance too, as well. Does it make sense? Yeah, so it's really dealing with the divers before the fight starts, not just waiting for the dive to happen even. So like, they see this Angela, right? They will try to dive, which is, of course, it's not the first priority though, but let's say there's any dive DPS who may follow them, maybe Daredevil, maybe Black Panther, you have to shoot them first, probably. Shoot the DPS first, deal with them, and after that you can deal with everybody else. Again, it kind of depends on the win conditions, what the enemy win condition is, but yeah. Let me see. Find the most relevant and dangerous factors that could beat you ahead of time. Yes. Then play best to avoid or mitigate those situations instead of reacting. Yeah, exactly. That's right, 23, yeah. Fighting with sure footing versus being on the back foot, tempo isn't easy. Yeah. That's true. I just like to simplify it to you deciding, do you play fast, do you play slow? It's based on multiple factors: your resources, the amount of numbers, ultimates you have right now, stuff like that. So see, you also have to sort of anticipate though. Once you're here and the Angel is threatening, what do? Yeah, you have to, first of all, need the backup route. Where do you go next? So after you shift, you cannot afford yourself to drop in the main, just drop in the main. You can still keep rotating in your lane, technically, over here. But don't drop here, just go here, and your support so can support you. And you have slightly better cover, so the rest of the guys will not kill you, yeah? Because who finished you? It's not even Angel, I believe, yeah? It's the rest of these people here. You end up this low HP, fine, but try to reposition. Maybe not in a straight line like this, but I don't know, slightly to the side, like in diagonal, sort of. But it's not like this, I believe. Yeah, it shouldn't just go on the main right away. I believe it's more of maybe a little bit of panic there too, but yeah, anyway. If you need to keep the distance, just go left side, probably diagonal this way, ask for support's help. Later you can transition here, and if you want to go deeper, then yes, you can kind of I don't know, just stay this corner, for example, if your team would like to push a little bit more forward, stuff like that. Okay, Let's see. The next fight. Okay, we have our ultimate too. Doctor Strange TPing in. Let's see what we're gonna do here. Okay, starting in here. Yeah, I'm thinking you shouldn't be here right away. I think you should reposition. Yeah, I know that we need to shoot these guys, but I think if you have opportunity to set up, go for it. Just instantly set up somewhere. Where could it go in Syria? Well, what are your thoughts, therapist? Where can it be right now in this case, based on this fight?
That top right, like, roof when you come right out of the portal.
Yeah, probably. It's just a little bit better over you. And
Yeah,
you
right here.
Yeah, you still have the sidelines on your supports too, so we kind of keep shooting that backline, yes, but it's just because you sit here for a little bit long, there's a high chance you receive the pressure, unnecessary pressure from the rest of the people, and then we kind of trying to fly in, you have to stay in the main now, and then you using the ultimate, which is fine to use it, but I would say this slightly better angle, and you can do the same stuff, right? And it's gonna be also easier for you to find the value with the ultimate too. Oh well, anyway, that's fine, okay. What's next? Okay, again, the question is anyone threatening to me on the angle? Well, they have an advantage. At the same time, where's the Angela? The Angela is kind of keep frontlining here. Maybe you have time to just slightly reposition. Maybe, I don't know, go left here or something. Probably just keep the distance anyway. Yeah, there's a high chance this guy's will try to take space. Yeah, well, this is the thing too. It's rooting us here. Yeah, oh yeah, you're not able to use the flight right away. Well, that's unfortunate. Well, but this is partially because where we started too, right? See what I mean? If we started on that another angle, maybe that wouldn't happen. We would not just end up in the situation on the main in the first place, because we would take that another high ground there. So, still, stuff like that. Okay, okay. We're only 5 minutes in, I know, but do you have any questions, the therapist, or is everything been clear?
So, with like my positioning, right? Like, when is the best time to, like, do a small flank, or, try to get LOS on their back line or one of their DPS, opposed to, like, fighting straight down main?
Well, it's really, most of the time, I do think you have to take angles, and the greediness, it depends on their composition too. So let's say, if they have dive, you cannot go as greedy, you cannot be isolated. If they don't, then yes, you can look for the small flanks more. It's just the greediness. You always take angle, but the greediness, the scale of it, it depends on the situation. You have to look at their comp and your comp, what this allows you to do. Maybe if, let's say, you get additional support on the angle, yeah, I don't know, you have orb from Luna Snow or something, that means maybe you can go deeper. Maybe you can be more aggressive, right? And also same about their composition. What are their resources? What may punish you, right? But when you're gonna be on main, well, in my opinion, it's mostly when you have an advantage. I usually put it this way. You just, of course, there might be other exceptions too, but you have big advantage with ultimates. You have big advantage with numbers. You can stay on the main. There's no reason for you to keep rotating and get better sideline, because you already have an advantage. The main point why you do the flanks, why you do rotations, is to get slightly better advantage, in my opinion. It's just gonna, this small factor, well, it's not even small, it's a pretty big one, which influences the fight, right? So if you do have it, an advantage already, you don't need the angle anymore in most cases. Yeah, that's how I would put it. Does it make sense?
Yeah, I guess. So I basically need to kind of swap my priority around, and instead of playing main more often as my goal, I need to like take angles and then switch to main, take angles, switch to main.
I would do that personally. It seems like I would try to look at the uptime with your flight. When can you reposition between the fights, and also, well, it's just this poke phase of the fight when the both teams are really far from each other. I want you to do early damage, and then after that you can reposition a different angle if you like to. You have this mobility, so this is possible for you to, this is kind of the constant, it's constantly kind of recharging too, right? So you need to use it more frequently. This it's there for the reason. You can also use it as disengage tool if somebody goes in you, but most importantly, uptime with the damage, and then only later if you're gonna get contested, then sure, you also need that partially, so you can keep moving, stuff like that. What else? Yeah, uptime, positioning, yes, angles, sure, adjust based on the tempo of the fight, and that'll be okay. That's how I would put it. Yeah. Okay, I think we can start with the not what. Okay, the final one right now. We only have 1 hour. Well, we kind of can go a little bit over time. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, therapist. Is everything being clear or anything else? What do you want to ask?
Yeah, no, this helped a
Also,
lot.
I forgot to remove the therapist from here. Oh, well, anyway, the name on the wheel. I mean, okay, we got 23. Let's go. Okay. Well, guys, Penny, Paris, and Sam, I will try to review you guys later, but you can also stay if you have any questions. That's fine. All right, let's do 23. Replay ID. Yeah. Yeah, I got it. Okay, it's Elsa Bloodstone, and we are in the goal too. Okay, perfect. Elsa is a new character. I believe you can be quite flexible with the angles still. The angles are really important. I just would say start searching for those. You have a lot of burst damage. I know there are a lot of combos, so we'll not dive into those. It's really there already. A lot of YouTube videos are there. Just more macro stuff.
I was gonna say the mechanics are something I'll practice, but I'm more looking at the macro.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so your nickname here is Z. Okay, I got you. Okay, this is you, and yeah, what you think you need to work on? Notes, main tank and support, learning DPS, looking for notes mostly on positioning and playmaking. That's fine with me. Yeah, let's focus on positional stuff then. All right, so right away we starting with what? Yeah, this is normal rotation. Started on the main first, and then you're looking for an angle. Where can it be? I see you scouting for the enemy team. That's fine. I like this little angle here. That's okay. Yeah, so the one thing is, I would just kind of keep holding those positions here. It's either this left lane or the, I don't know, the right side lane, but you're okay at being on the off angles like this, as long as you want defensive ability away from your team. Like, let's say technically you can reach them with some of your abilities, that's fine, usually. It's like with Psylocke, we talked about it, with the dash, or just a Black Panther, even, just anyone. If you can reach your team, usually the angle is going to be fine. You
So I had a good angle and gave it up too much for free.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, I would kind of keep maintaining there. Just, first of all, you may deal with the people who may go here, but if not, then, well, if you really want to drop, maybe you can also try to use a little bit of this space inside the left. You can break this, but I just want you to think about, try to experiment with the side lanes a little bit more if possible. You not necessarily have to be on the main, unless there's a good reason why. Now you're on the main, there's a wall right in front of you. We still could be shooting, right? Just from this position here, or maybe the right side lane or something. I feel like, yes, the position initially is alright. Okay. Just do a little bit of damage there. Yeah, and let's see. This little things with our mobility. Yeah, so we kind of go in, try to do damage, then disengage with your with your E. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so trying to kind of keep this up here, that's fine. This little angle is quite nice, but you know, the important thing about this, you always have to watch where your tank is fighting. So when you do this, it's either well, the angle itself may be okay-ish, but you have to keep an eye on if these people are not busy with your tank. You have to be more careful. You have to maybe just keep the distance a little bit, kind of keep rotating, but you can still rotate on your lane too. You can maybe go, like, let's say towards somewhere here, or you can also try to, at the same time, before the fight even starts, think about where your tank is fighting and position accordingly to them. So let's say if my tank is here, what are your options? Well, I'm even thinking using the high gun is not too bad. Maybe thinking about this right side corner here. I know it's a little bit open at this point here, but still. Now this little corner is interesting though. Okay. Eventually we try to disengage, but see, you not necessarily have to go to your support. You can like end up here or something. You can end up here if you really need the distance, because this way you keep splitting the attention. Let's say they go on you on the lane, really chase you, then this main lane is fine. Yeah, if you, I've done the class before on the lanes, and this is what we call lane theory. Maybe you can also watch that. It's just the idea is that if one lane is getting pushed, then that means the other lane can go more forward. So if I'm on this left side lane in your case, you're getting pushed. Sure, you can fall back, but then you letting those people to push more forward and take space in theory, and you not necessarily have to fall back to them. You can just try to keep walking back on your lane and later on decide, yeah, do I need to take really different one, or maybe I can keep pushing in my lane. As long as you're comfortable with that, it's fine. Just no reason to maybe give up to go right to your support. You just rely on the sidelines mostly, I think. Okay, anyway, the tank is killable here. Okay, try to get them, that's fine. Now challenging this is not too bad, I believe. It can work, isolated targets. You have quite a lot of burst with Elsa, so this is fine. This guy's more killable. You guys got the objective now, that's great. A little bit damage before the fight starts. Yeah, the trap is interesting. I think the trap is, it's either setting up you for the kill, or you need to place it somewhere in the space where, let's say you predict that they're gonna walk through, I don't know, so like here-ish. Yeah, let's say so here. You can sow the trap behind them, so they have no choice, but either they will walk forward, or like, let's say they walk back, then they're gonna get trapped, and they trapped in a space where your team can shoot something. Yeah, so this trap,
I'll tell you my aim, and you tell me if it was correct, because I missed this trap. That trap was missed, and I was aiming to get it behind them because I thought we were about to initiate forward pressure, and I wanted to have it behind them, and not instead of them walking in. Do you think walking in the trap is better?
Yeah, you know, it depends. It really doesn't matter. You either walk forward or walk back, but it's just the same idea. You're trapping them in. Yeah, if you miss that mechanically, like let's say you place it here, I think this can be quite okay, but then you need to shoot this guy, yeah? So you keep forcing him out, and let's say he walks in the trap, perfect, or he is not walking, okay, then he's gonna take a lot of damage, right? So just anybody who commits like this, I think, just kind of similar to Shift on Invis woman, we talked about it too. I think it's gonna be quite okay. I'm definitely thinking, I'm not too sure about this, but I definitely think this is can also be your kill setup as well. If there's a high chance of getting a kill, sure, maybe you can use it for that, but I'm thinking just on more macro standpoint, because there is low chance to get a kill right away. Typically, you kind of thinking about forcing out something big first with the traps like this when you're placing them like that, and that's your main point anyway, yeah? Yeah, and then your angle, it's gonna be, if we place the trap here, I think it's fine. If we maintain here, yeah, it's just constantly the damage on that guy, the Elsa, and then afterwards you guys can push through. You had the tank started to the left, that's fine. You push in the same space, and that's the most ideal, usually. If you guys deal with the same space, really, that's okay. Like we talked about the Venom VOD, right? The Venom is diving in. Okay, I want you to have an angle, because this guy's distracting. So this makes it easy for you to just apply pressure constantly. And there's a nice little angle here. Okay, unfortunate. Okay, so the thing about this ultimate, you know, sometimes, depending on the map too, it even can be interesting to just like go with aggressive angle. Well, it's not like too aggressive, but it's rather just think about more greedy angle sometimes, so you have more chance to trap them in your space a little bit more. But yeah, with this one, you have to definitely watch. If you do it from the main, you have to watch this stuff, though. You just have to force it
100%.
out. Yeah.
All of my best ultimates on her have come from taking an aggressive, greedy angle and getting them from the side or from behind really quickly.
Exactly. There's one niche use of it too, like you've seen some clips probably where they just get an environmental kill with that, but sometimes it's not possible, right? There are maps where it's maybe like this. There's just not many environmental kills we can get, so it's okay if we just try to kind of keep the enemy busy in your kill zone in a way. Yeah, then this abilities you have to watch for sure. Oh, what happened to us? Okay, so first of all, using the ultimate, okay, fine, but then rotation, where do we go? Okay, we keep here, and then dash to this guy. Oh, well. Yeah, I see. You try to set up the kill here, and that's why we kind of get punished for it, right? That what happened? Or like this here?
I missed the dash on
Yeah.
the Elsa and wound up in terrible land.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, this is another thing. It's just to really... Yeah, you need to be careful. I know there's... If you dash for the kill, I think it's possible, but still, try to think about what is that corner you will be end up next to afterwards. So even though like you're here, technically you maybe even can try to go down there and just avoid the damage, or maybe we can try to, I don't know, go like to this wall instantly. But yeah, this is really threatening. When we up and open like this, when we used our abilities here, it's a little bit concerning here. Oh well. Anyway, let's see how the next fight plays out. Well, there's a lot of good stuff. I see that you're taking those soft angles. I would just say confirm with where your tank is. Pay attention to it. Maybe rotate into your lane more and not necessarily fall back to your core. As long as they have sightlines, I believe you can be fine. Yeah, you have a lot of this potential to duel people, in my opinion. It should be okay. From what I watched so far, I think that's alright. You have a lot of flexibility. Like, this is a nice little angle here. Okay. Set up to the early damage. It seems your entire team is walking through here. By the way, that is something what you can take advantage of. But you know how you do that is because you're not taking the fight right now. You're in this more of a poke phase of the fight. They're still transitioning to this point here. So you can use this time to set up slightly better angle. So in theory, let's say they walk here, I can dash to like here and use this side of the map. Maybe you can go above or something. Maybe you can try to go deeper, but don't feel obligated to like just shoot and go back. But once your tank is walking, walk somewhere to an angle, and it's gonna be.
That's a huge piece of advice for me. Like I said, I was a tank. I'm a tank main. Like that's what I usually play, and so I'm used to defining the space rather than working in and around it.
Yes.
So one of my biggest faults as a DPS player is tank positioning a lot of the time. And I think you are very correct that I have an opportunity there for an aggressive angle that pushes us further into that lane rather than us having to retreat back out of the lane like we have now and half commit.
Yeah. Because it's just not as great uptime, right? To kind of walk, okay, receive the damage, but then be scared to walk in. But I can also sit here. Let's say my team is really heavily pushed. Fine, I can sit here, and let's say this guy's really push you in here. Then after that, the rest of the guys will come in.
It creates opportunity, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's your space. Yeah, like we mentioned, the tank is defining where the space is. So you can take advantage of it. That's nice. Yeah, you can be anywhere on the map, technically, but yeah, just thinking, I have the opportunities because my tank is walking. Like, this is maybe not too bad. Okay, let me think. Your tank, okay, the rest of your team actually decide to walk backwards now. Yeah, well, you have to confirm this, though. If your tank starts walking, like, they kind of walking through the space here, walking through the choke, already, then sure, it seemed like they started, but then they stopped. You have to confirm, though. If not, then you're gonna receive a lot of attention here, unnecessarily.
That's one of my duos.
That's fine. Well, you guys can communicate with
low
each other.
comms. Yeah, I was gonna say that was low comms there.
It's fine. Yeah, maybe this guy walks. Okay, then I'm more confident to take this lane. Let's say they don't want to walk. Okay, you use this time to set up slightly better angle, and maybe if they kind of walk in like within here, so this space or something, you can start taking deeper angle somewhere. Just going more
I
forward.
respect that.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I would knock us as a duo here is that we half committed on both angles.
Yeah.
It was really bad. We just wasted time, so much time.
Yeah, but you know, it's nice if you have a duo as a tank, especially. You can always call this out. All right, this is, or maybe he can say, okay, I'm pushing in 3-1, and if you have the location, if you have the good angle in the same space which he is pushing, it's gonna be great, I believe. Yeah, try to experiment with that and see what it can do.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be really good. Okay, Okay, do you have any questions? I think we can end somewhere around here, but yeah.
Well, The only other question, the only other thing I would want looked at is my ult usage, but I think I would actually rather dedicate another VOD review another time to
Yeah,
just that.
yeah, I know. You know, it's okay. It's a little bit brief. It's understandable. Maybe if
No,
you want.
that is okay. I learned a lot from this.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, maybe you can submit the WOD another time. Also, there are one-on-one sessions. I also do sessions. By the way, class and drills. There are links to my stuff too. But
Thank
yeah.
you.
By the way, class and drills is here. The channel over here. All the previous classes, all the stuff. If you want to get a session, feel free to message too. That's all right. Yeah, and by the way, if there are any questions too, just regarding anything, you guys can always message me on Discord, tag me here. That's all right. Sometimes I'm checking
I
the
appreciate
questions.
that. I got what I wanted from this one on my positioning and playmaking. I learned a
Okay.
lot.
All right. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. All right. I think we can end here. And yeah, I understand. Okay, Sam. Yeah, I think we have to end because yeah, I have another session really soon. We can maybe try to review if it's possible later. Yeah, I see. Yeah, you mentioned you can stick around.
Thank you for
It's
your
no
time.
problem.
Yeah, no problem.
Your
No problem.
time. Be
Uh,
first.
yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
It's all good. All
Ninja,
right,
I'm going
guys.
to the other channel.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, I'll see you later on the Monday. I will do the class. We'll think about the scene, and yeah, I will post it in the events. Okay. Well, I will
Thank you
see
one
every.
last time. Have a good time.
Yeah, you guys
Thank
too.
you.
Yeah. Bye.